All right, let's talk about the most incredible communication network you can imagine. And guess what? It's running inside you right now. We're talking about your nervous system, kind of like your body's very own high speed internet. So let's jump right in.
I mean, have you ever stopped to wonder how a simple thought like, I'm going to snap my fingers, turns into the actual action? Or how you feel the warmth from a cup of coffee? How does that even work? Well, it all kicks off with a tiny signal, a message that's zipping through this ridiculously complex network at unbelievable speeds.
Okay, so to get our heads around this whole thing, we've got to zoom way, way in. We need to start small, really small. We're going to meet the hero of our story, the single fundamental building block that makes it all happen.
And this is it, the neuron. You've got something like 86 times billion of these little microscopic messengers just in your brain. That's a staggering number, and they're all firing away, working together. Literally every thought, every feeling, every single thing you do, it's all powered by these guys.
So, what makes a neuron so good at its job? Well, think of it like a tiny biological radio station. You've got the dendrites, which are basically the antennas, always listening and picking up signals. Then there's the cell body. That's the control room, the processor that figures out what to do with the signal. And finally, you have the axon, that long cable that acts like a transmitter, sending the impulse on its way. It's this perfect little three-part setup: receiver, processor, transmitter.
All right, so we've met our messenger, the neuron. But what about the message itself? How does it actually get sent? It's not like a little text or an email. It's an electric spark, a tiny, brilliant flash of electricity that can travel up to, get this, 268 miles per hour. That is just wild. Okay, how this spark works is just fantastic. The absolute best way to picture it is like a line of dominoes. So in step one, all the dominoes are perfectly lined up, just waiting. That's the neuron in its resting state. Then, step two, someone pushes the first domino. That's the stimulation. These little charged particles, sodium ions, flood in and kick the whole thing off. Step three is the beautiful chain reaction, the dominoes falling one after another. That's the action potential, this wave of electricity that shoots down the axon. And then, and this is super important, step four is the reset. It's like someone instantly setting all the dominoes back up, ready to go again. It's just an insanely fast and efficient system.
And here's why that reset is so genius. That little pause, it's called the refractory period, and it does one crucial thing. It makes sure the signal can't go backward. It's a one-way street. This forces the impulse to keep moving forward, which prevents total chaos in the system. The message gets exactly where it needs to go, no mix-ups, no interference. All right, so we've seen the tiny spark and the single messenger. Now it's time to zoom out, way out. Because how do billions of these little sparks create, well, us? Let's take a look at the massive, incredible network that all these neurons build together.
You know, for all its complexity, the whole system is actually organized pretty neatly into two major divisions. First, you've got the central nervous system, the CNS. That's the big boss, the brain and the spinal cord. Think of it as central command, the main server processing everything. Then you have the peripheral nervous system, or PNS. This is basically the network of cables, all the other nerves connecting every single part of your body, your fingers, your toes, all of it, back to central command.
So let's take a closer look at that control center, the CNS. This is where the magic really happens. This is the core of what makes you, well, you. Okay, so the brain, that's the CEO. It's the ultimate control center, processing info, making all the big decisions, and coordinating the whole operation. The spinal cord, that's the main information superhighway. All the data zips up and down it, but it's also smart in its own right. You know when you touch something hot and pull your hand back before you even realize what happened? That's the spinal cord taking charge, a reflex action that's so fast it doesn't even wait for the brain's permission. Pretty cool, right? But wait, there's more. Running in the background, kind of like an automatic pilot for your body, is this incredible specialized system. It's the part that works tirelessly, 24/7, without you ever having to give it a single thought. And that is the visceral nervous system, which is also called the autonomic nervous system. I mean, think about it right now. As you're just sitting here, it's making your heart beat, it's digesting your food, it's making sure you're breathing. It handles all of the absolutely critical stuff that keeps you alive, and you don't have to do a thing. And the real beauty of this automatic pilot is its perfect sense of balance. It's got these two modes that work in opposition. You've got the sympathetic system, that's your fight or flight response. It's the gas pedal, revving you up for action, making your heart beat faster.
Then you have the parasympathetic system. That's the brake pedal. It's your rest and digest mode, calming everything down, conserving energy. It's this brilliant push and pull dynamic, always adjusting to exactly what your body needs at any given moment.
So, when you put it all together, from that single tiny cell to a system that literally builds your entire reality, what's the big picture? Well, we started with one single cell, the neuron, and we've zoomed out to see how it creates everything. The key thing to remember is that all this mind-boggling complexity is actually organized into just three main parts. You have the central system, that's your command center. You have the peripheral system, your network of cables. And then you have the visceral system, your automatic pilot. That's it. Command, cables, and autopilot. So, here's a final thought to chew on. If everything you experience, every sight, every sound, every memory, every single feeling, if all of it is really just a specific pattern of electric sparks jumping between these little cells, then what does that make you? What are you, really?